I don't remember the code to put in here off the top of my head, just because you only do it once per application, and so it's kind of hard to remember. Luckily, it's always available online in the docs section under Zend Controller. A little bit down. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right here. I'm just going to copy it, close this, and paste it. And you can see what this is doing is it's rewriting all URLs that don't go to a resource file, such as an image or JavaScript file, to index.php. And the reason it does this is so that you can have pretty search engine friendly, human friendly URLs, such as if you were to have an application at myapplication.com, then just the home page .com would be the index. And if you want to go to more pages, such as a login page, you might do, normally what you would do is login.php, and then maybe have some variables tagged along. And what the rewriting will allow you to do, and what Zend Framework has built in, is the support to create pretty URLs that look like this and are human friendly. So instead of having .php, it would just say login, and then for the variables you might have variables and then tag, such as that. So that's a lot easier to read without the .php, the question mark, the equals, etc. And that's basically what the rewrite is going to do for you here. And so the next file that goes in the public folder is the index.php file. And the index.php file is going to be what initializes the whole web application environment. And that's going to be covered in a succeeding screencast, and I recommend you watch it, but you'll learn a lot also in this screencast. Okay, and the last thing is you also want your main application code to be outside of your web root, which is public in this case. And so the index.php, like I said, is reserved for setting up the environment that the code will run in. And also, for if you're using the model view controller pattern, which is an industry standard, an accepted pattern, and is supported by Zend Framework, and is the pattern that I'm going to be covering in my screencast. The front controller within index.php will process the URL and forward it to the correct page controller, and that code is going to be outside your public folder. So, to give you a visual of that, I'm going to create an application folder, and just like the Zend Framework library code is in the library folder, all your application-specific code is going to be in the application folder. And just to remind you, if we refresh the root of my web server, I'm seeing a blank page, and that's because I'm seeing the index.php file. So I can't access application. If I put application here, there's nothing. I can't access it. And so my application code is separate. There are a few folders that go in the application folder. These folders aren't required, but again, if you're following the model view controller pattern, the structure is going to give you a nice separation of the separate parts of your application. If you're building off existing PHP code that maybe follows a different design pattern or doesn't follow any real pattern at all, then you could play around with your own directory structure and just use what's right for you. The Zend Framework doesn't lock you into any corners. So I'm creating 3 folders here: models, views, and controllers. And it's pretty self-explanatory. The controllers will go here, the models will go here, and the views will go here. Again, in the next screencast, I'll talk about what a controller looks like, how it works, how to show some basic content on your page, and so on. Thank you for watching this screencast. You learned a lot. You learned how to install the Zend Framework, and also the basics of setting up your first application structure. I hope you'll watch the next ones also.